Welcome to the Big Success Show. Today, how entrepreneurs stay positive.
Big Success with the Professor and Mary-Lynn. Do you like surprise endings? Well, then have we got a story for you. Hi, I'm George Kruger, a.k.a. the Professor.
And I'm Mary-Lynn. We read a great article on Inc. that shared a story about Thomas Edison, and we hadn't heard this one before.
No, I had not.
When Thomas Edison's factory burned to the ground in 1914, destroying one-of-a-kind prototypes and causing $23 million in damage. Edison's response was simple.
Thank goodness all our mistakes were burned up. Now we can start fresh again.
Wait,
what an attitude.
What? Talk about a surprise ending. Thank goodness. Those are two words you certainly would not expect to hear out of somebody who lost that much. I mean, can you imagine yourself in that situation and having that kind of a reaction?
Yeah, because 23 million in 1914 is, I can't even imagine. That's got to be 100 million plus.
I know.
That's a good chunk of money.
And when tragedy strikes, you know, we tend to focus on the loss or remorse. What does it take to have that kind of an attitude, to stay positive in the face of such loss? How do you not focus on what you no longer have?
Oh, I have the answer, Mary-Lynn.
Of course you do. You're the professor.
You know what you need to do?
What?
Think like an entrepreneur.
Yes. So let's pull out the professor's whiteboard for 3 ways entrepreneurs stay positive.
I'm absolutely positive this closet is going to be the end of me.
I am too, if you don't get that thing cleaned out. All right. So on the professor's whiteboard, the first way that entrepreneurs stay positive is they see opportunity. And we could see that in what Thomas Edison said after that. You know, thank goodness all our mistakes are burned up. Now we can start fresh again.
Yeah, so literally, Edison was able to see opportunity in the ashes.
Yeah. Yes,
literally.
Exactly.
And you find an opportunity by first seeing it. When Edison looked at that pile of ashes, he saw an opportunity to start fresh. That is not typical thinking.
No.
That is definitely thinking like an entrepreneur. Seeing an opportunity, that is definitely thinking like an entrepreneur. And Mary-Lynn, you know, it reminds me of the movie. We've talked about it before on the podcast, but it just always reminds me, one of my favorite movies ever is the movie Tucker. And Tucker was this entrepreneur back in the post-World War II era. Right. And this is a true story, you know, loosely based, I guess, in the movie. But the point is, I still remember the end of the movie, and he's basically been put out of business. The government didn't help him by any means. They kind of helped the big companies, and his small little company didn't get the assistance they needed. He's devastated, right? I mean, you would think.
Right.
But at the end of the movie, he's just excited. He's singing a song because he had a new idea, and he was pressing on something fresh.
So how do, you know, the Tuckers of the world, the Thomas Edisons of the world, how do we, as we're growing as entrepreneurs, how do we develop that habit of, even in the face of something that's disappointing, how do you see the positive? How do you get yourself in the habit of turning things around like that?
Well, and let's make this a challenge, Mary-Lynn, for all you listeners. Keep a journal, and every day for 30 days, write down a potential opportunity that you saw that day. So every day, just look for and find one potential opportunity. Doesn't have to be good, doesn't have to be bad. Whatever it is, just whatever you see, just get in the habit of looking for and finding ideas.
No, I mean, does it have to be like a business opportunity, or is it just like an opportunity to enjoy the sunset? Or, I mean, what are we talking about?
Well, I think
here?
specifically I'm talking about people wanting to be an entrepreneur and trying to come up with an idea. That's what I'm specifically thinking of. But you're absolutely right that we should take in everything around us. It's just, I think that's easier to do maybe for a lot of us because we've heard that over and over again. We're not so used to being so opportunistic focused. And so that's what we're really trying to get to here. Once you have that idea, invest. You can, you know, that the first part is get an idea. The next part is investigate it, research it, and then after 30 days, you're going to begin to develop a habit of constantly opening yourself up to new opportunities.
Okay. So, but I mean, doing this every day may be tough.
It is. It's not simple necessarily.
So every day I'm looking for I'm trying to find an opportunity for something that I could turn into a business idea.
Yeah. It could be a little side hustle. It could be, an investment that you could make. It could be anything. But the idea is really think about it as I'm looking for problems that need a solution.
Okay. And there's an
therein lies an opportunity, perhaps.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, my mind is racing. Before we recorded our podcast, we were on hold for like a half hour.
Yes.
Waiting to make an appointment. So maybe there's an opportunity in, I don't know. I guess
somehow improve it. Yeah, but I mean, right there's an idea.
Improving the waiting time, or maybe an opportunity to at least not have the same audio recording loop over and over and over and over.
Yes, exactly.
Something different. Anyway,
a smart on hold message.
Maybe.
Yes, there you go.
All right. Anyway, I digress. We're going to move on to the second way entrepreneurs stay positive. And number 2 is you have to believe. Something you may not know if you're new to big success is that the B in big success stands for believing. So big in full stands for believing, implementing, goal getting, giving back, success.
But it all starts with believing. Yes,
right.
Believing. And notice it's an active verb. That's on purpose because all of this stuff should be active. But first of all, believe in yourself. If we don't believe in ourselves, we pretty much have nothing. If you're going to get other people to believe in you, you're going to first have to believe in yourself.
And obviously, when you go back to the story that we started with, Edison believed in himself.
Absolutely.
As he looked at everything that he had already developed in ashes, and he saw an opportunity to start over. So obviously, he believed that he could recreate what he had or recreate it better.
Yeah, and not to get too far off track, Mary-Lynn, but I guess you just sparked the thought in me that financial freedom isn't money in the bank. Financial freedom is having the knowledge to get money in the bank, to put money in the bank. And I think a lot of people miss this, that, people who inherit money, in some cases, many cases, they're scared to death because they know that they never can make the kind of money that they have, that they've inherited. And that's a really tough feeling to have. But a person who's self-created, self-made, they know how to do it. They know the path that needs to be followed. They know how to create financial freedom. And so they have something that money can't buy. That confidence, that belief, that self-esteem that I can press forward and recreate that fortune again. Kind of like what Edison is doing here, right? So number 1, believe in yourself, but also believe in others. There are other people who want to help you. There are other people who need your help. Believe that your help is going to be good for them. Believe that their help is going to be good for you. Believe in a higher power. I don't know what I would do in life anymore without God. And, you choose your own way.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's great.
Well, I was going to say, if you want a big confidence booster.
Yes.
If you want somebody to help you believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
Believe in God, because God believes in you.
Yeah, and I guess the bottom line is just believe that all things work together for good.
Yeah.
That somehow, some way, everything that I'm doing and everything that's happening to me, even if my factory burns down and I've lost $23 million, there's somehow, some way, there's something fresh in here. There's a blessing packed in. Absolutely right. It's a great attitude that'll keep you going.
It really will.
Very powerful.
And then our third way that entrepreneurs stay positive is they see past the pain.
Mary-Lynn, it just makes me think about one of my favorite dad quotes. Like, you'd be hammering a nail or something and you slipped off the nail or whatever and smashed your thumb, for example.
Oh boy, that's
just
painful.
Hurts, it just throbs. Or you lock your hand in the car door, right?
You stub your toe on the chair or whatever, right?
And my dad would always say, "Son, that's going to feel really good when it quits hurting." And it's like, well, thanks, Dad, but I'm definitely not there yet. It still hurts.
That is seeing past the pain, all right.
Yes, it is.
But taking it out of the physical realm. The same is true when you lose something or you lose someone important. You go through a painful grieving process. So you can't avoid the pain, which is great about this point. It's not saying that you won't feel pain. It's saying that you've got to see past it and know that you'll get past it.
Yeah, and as an example of that, Mary-Lynn, I remember I was going to buy this business, and we had an arrangement with the owner, how it's going to all work. And I was actually working in the company on his payroll as we kind of worked through this process. And then all of a sudden somebody came in and I mean, my bid was pretty much, we're going to work this thing out together because the business was having some issues. It's a regional firm and, a good firm, but it had some issues. This outside party came in, they made an offer, and it was way more than I had bid. And I said to the owner, it's like, I'm just telling you right now, take their bid, take it. But I was so disappointed because we were in the process of transitioning this from kind of a cell phone business to actually what we were looking at it as was like a personal productivity business. And so we saw opportunity here, and it was crushing because it was something that we had started that I wasn't able to complete. So that there's no closure here is the point. And so that created a real grieving. I was grieving. But the thing is, what ended up happening, I ended up buying another business, and it was very much related to my other businesses. And so it's like as it turned out, I had a much better portfolio of businesses because I wasn't able to get the one that disappointed me that I didn't get it so much.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so I think that's how it works a lot of times if we're just patient. Even people who lose their job, and as much as it may suck right up front to lose your job, they almost always a year later they report, I'm so much better off than I was before. And so I think we should always be looking past the pain that we're going through now. If you keep that in mind, you'll be able to handle things much better.
All right, today's discussion has been so positive.
Are you positive about
Right. So let's review 3 ways that entrepreneurs stay positive. First, you have to see opportunity. Even when something bad happens, you got to see the opportunity that now might be presented because of it. You also have to believe. Believing. Think about big success. Believing, implementing, goal-getting, giving back. It starts with believing. And then number 3, see past the pain.
Now, when you get burned by a situation in life, remember to rise above the ashes and stay positive. It leads to big success.
The best opportunities are aligned with your purpose. Do you know yours? If not, our free life purpose quiz can help. You'll find it at Big Success. That's big with 2 G's, success.com. Next time, there are people who succeed big and those who don't. Find out the key difference between the two.
And we're absolutely positively positive. We're so happy you listened to our show today. Thank you so much.
Until next time,
here's to your big success.
Find Big Success at biggsuccess.com.